Hello and welcome to week 8 of this mini cut. I don't know. I don't like the sound of mini cut. Basically, I'm just trying to lose the last 10 or so pounds of what I have left to lose. I've previously shared I've already lost over 60 pounds. And after taking some months off, I've decided to go back into a deficit to try to lose that last little bit of weight. So in these videos, I typically share something that's related to my weight loss journey that could benefit you in some way. And I will share like a full day of eating or meal prep. But today, we are not doing the full day of eating or meal prep because I just didn't get it done. This has been a week. And this is why this week we are talking about how stress affects your weight loss. And we're going to talk about 3 things you can do to get rid of the stress when you're feeling it. Maybe some other things to consider when thinking about your stress overall. So this week I am up 0.8 pounds. Now listen, I honestly am still not worried about it. Like, am I like, oh, I wish I would have lost? Of course. Yeah. I mean, last week I was only down 0.2 pounds. But again, I'm in this for the long haul. And I personally only look at my weight loss over a month. But the reason I'm doing a weekly weigh-in is because I really want to show you that weight loss is not linear and you can still have successful weight loss and you will get to a point where that weight loss will stay off, but it's just going to take some time. And if you do it right, you never feel like you're on a diet. You never will be on a diet. And you are just feeling really good about yourself and you're enjoying your life and you're just really deserving of it. You know, you're putting in the work and you're reaping the rewards. So, I'm up 0.8 pounds. Yep, 0.8. I don't really know what my second month results are yet. I'm going to get that on Sunday when I weigh in. So, I will actually update that on week 9. So, let's talk about stress and how that can affect your weight loss. And let me tell you first about my week and why I was so stressed. This has been a very stressful week for me. And basically, it's because I'm having work done on my house and there's a lot of banging and a lot of people in and out. My cable and internet went out for a day. And you cannot have like no internet in 2020. Like I couldn't even get on Instagram. My daughter couldn't get on school. You know, I couldn't work, have emails, any of that for a whole day. And we actually ended up taking more walks. We just like spent more time together. So we just made the best of it. And honestly, that's what I do. I just make the best of a bad situation. Which reminds me, if you have not seen it yet and you're interested, I did share a Halloween basket video yesterday, so you can check that out if you're interested in some unique idea for you to do with your family this Halloween, because it is going to be different, and like I like to do is just make the best out of every situation, because ultimately we still are in control of our actions and what we choose to do in life, whether or not things around us are a little chaotic. So anyway, so just like the house stuff was stressing me out, just because you got to always be on, you know, and that went out. We had our power go out one night because one of the light switches that they replaced had a break in the wire, and I heard a pop, pop, pop. And then like the backlight went out, and then like half of the house went out. And so it was just like, oh my God. And then like the AC wasn't working. The 2 days it was 80 degrees. You know, it was just like one of those things where it was like all this stuff. And then so like that was a major stress factor. And then also I got my braces off, but the bottoms, I have to wear a permanent not permanent. I have a permanent retainer in the back. That's not a big deal. And I knew I was going to have to wear my nighttime retainer. But the bottom row, that she wants me to wear my retainer, like my nighttime retainer, all day long. And I can't do that. Like number one, like to drink coffee throughout the morning. Like I drink on, you know, I sip on my coffee for like 3 hours, you know, couple cups. And so you can't have anything but just water when you have it. It's like Invisalign. This is exactly why I did not get Invisalign. Actually, there's many reasons I didn't get Invisalign, but one of them because it just didn't work for my lifestyle. Like I do mainly drink water, which is hilarious. Like I have no problem with that. But like my coffee, you can't have coffee. How do people do that? Like I'm not going to take it out just to have coffee. So that's why I did not want Invisalign. And then when I'm at work, I like to sip on my smoothie, like as my meal, you know, to like get me through, because I don't take breaks for lunch when I'm at the studio. And so just things like that. And I just didn't want to have to like take it out and put it in, especially now, like I don't want to be out having to like put my hands in my mouth constantly. So it just doesn't really work out. And so it's stressing me out a little bit because I don't want my teeth to move, but I'm not going to put Invisalign. I think it's going to be okay. I'm actually going to talk to my ortho next week and just ask her opinion about it, because the longest they've been out is like 3 hours. But anyway, so that, I feel like there was like one other thing that was kind of stressing me out. What was it? So just like, yeah, the siding, the house. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, the other thing that was like really stressing me out was I almost lost my phone number. Like, I have had the same phone number for my brick and mortar business. So by the way, I am a massage therapist, been doing that for 15 years, and I'm doing that part-time while I am now also health coaching online part-time, and eventually I'm going to transition into full-time health coaching, but for now I am doing both. So the business that I own, I've had the same phone number. I actually created the phone number, and the last 4 digits spell well. You know, I made that phone number and it's on everything. And so I almost lost it because I transferred it to AT&T to have a cell phone, because I'm not at the studio as often as I used to be, and I want to be able to answer the phones. Plus, it was like a huge bill, and I'm not, anyway, we're not going to get into all the details of it. But anyway, I almost lost my number that I've had for over 9 years. And that was stressing me out, thinking about all the things that like would have to happen if I didn't get it. And I gotta tell you honestly, like there was one night where like I really had a hard time going to sleep, because every time I thought about it, I would like, get anxiety. But then I actually just gave myself Reiki, put one hand over my chest, one hand over my stomach, and I just breathed. And I said, you know what, Rebecca, if that happens, that's exactly what's meant to happen. You know, and that's what we have to do sometimes. Like, this is one thing you can do when you are feeling really stressed, is just accept that that's really exactly what's happening, and know and have faith that everything's going to work out. Even if it doesn't work out in the way that you think that it should work out, it is always working out for you. Always. The universe, God, whoever you believe in, like they are always looking out for you. And even if it feels a little weird, it's still always for the best. Now, I will tell you, I ended up getting it straightened out, and that's good. I had to like reactivate my account. Like, it was so annoying because I talked to my new company, and she was like, yeah, your account, everything's good. We've got your number. Go ahead and cancel the other one. I promise you, you are safe. The number's safe. Then, as it turns out, it wasn't actually ported successfully, so then I had to pay more money to get it activated, and then now I have to pay like a monthly fee. Ugh, it's just like a headache. So multiple little headaches within those 3 things, you know. It was just like, oh my gosh. But it ended up working out, and even if it didn't work out the way I had hoped, which it did, I still had to just tell myself, like, no matter what, it's okay. And the same thing like with the house and the construction. It's like, we don't have control over those things. Like, things come up. Like, if you start banging on stuff and if you start ripping things out, you are bound to have some problems. So just be ready for things to take longer than expected, and be ready for power to go out or something to fall off. Okay? Because it's just going to happen. And so, and then the other thing, what was the other thing? Oh, the braces. Okay, again, my expectation was to have just my nighttime retainer. Well, it didn't exactly go that way. So I'm just going to have to accommodate and, you know, reconfigure my thought patterns in order to make sure, like, be okay with all of it. And that's okay. It's just like all of that at once really got me, because I am really a very positive, as you can see, that, you know, I make the best out of every situation, and I have ways to help myself get through it, but it's still hard. It's still stressful. Oh my gosh. So I think that is why I actually went up this week, because my calories were on point. The only day I went over was on Tuesday, and that was because we had got like the back of our house done, the siding was done, and so Chris and I sat on the back porch and we had some champagne, and we just kind of celebrated being able to finally, you know, fix up our house in this way. And so it wasn't planned. Usually when I know I'm going to drink on the weekend or whatever day it is, I can plan for it and I make room for that, but I didn't that day. And so it was just one of those days where it was okay. And honestly, I'm usually fine if I go over my calories by 300 or 400 just once a week. And that's different for everybody. It depends on what your situation is and how many calories you are consuming and all that. But for the most part, I do pretty good. So, I mean, I was on point. I missed one 9-round workout, but I made up for it by doing bar. And I did end up running on Sunday. So, you know, I think I did everything right. And in the past, this has really tripped me up because I'm like, I do everything right and I gained weight. Are you kidding me? You know what? Forget it. Let's order pizza. Let me get a couple extra beers in and let's just say hell with it, you know? And that's when you really do have a problem, is because you just give them, throw it all away. But here's the thing. I guarantee you next week, I'm going to be down like 2 pounds. Like, it's going to flush out because your body holds on to water when it's stressed. It's just like this inflammation that goes on. And so I don't think that what I'm experiencing right now is true weight gain. It's just water weight, because you actually have to consume at least 3,500 extra calories above your maintenance calories. And if I'm below my calories and I'm hitting maintenance, I would have to have 6,000 calories, you know what I mean, over to gain a pound right now. And that's just, you know, I didn't do that. So I'm sure it's just going to flesh out that I'm like kind of getting things done. The sighting will be done tomorrow. I've got the phone almost worked out. It got activated today. I got to call the other service provider tomorrow to actually get it switched. And I'm going to talk to my ortho next week about, you know, my retainer and stuff. So all in all, I think it's going to be fine. With that being said, though, I am going to talk next week about how to adjust your calories, because once, you know, over time, you'll want to adjust your calories a little bit so you continue to have the weight loss. So we'll talk about that next week. So I'm going to adjust some things going forward next week. But let me just tell you that, yeah, that's just stress. Now, there are things that stress can do that will make you gain true weight. And by being stressed, you get, you know, lack of sleep, and by having lack of sleep, you have more cravings, and then you will be want to eat more. So you can gain true weight with stress if you end up overeating because of it. Now, for chronic stress, stress that happens over time, like right now, this is just like an acute stress, really, because it's just a week long's worth of stress. I mean, it's a lot of stress. You know, I'm going to talk about the other stuff that's always kind of on my mind, but right now, it's like, this is just like the acute stress. It's going to go away. Now, if it's chronic stress and I'm chronically stressed out, then that is when the cortisol really does start to affect you. And the funny thing about cortisol, it's not even the cortisol. The cortisol actually is an anti-inflammatory, but it's the effects. It's what your body has to do to make up for the cortisol release. It's all the repair that goes on after that actually causes you to store belly fat as a protective mechanism. And it's because you're so stressed, your body's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, that it's like, you know what, we're not even gonna worry about fat loss right now. We're just trying to survive. So I'm gonna hold on to everything that I can. So that's when true weight gain will happen over stress. Basically overeating, or if it's just chronically and then it becomes really a hormone imbalance. I want to talk to you about how to release stress. Here's the thing. Stress is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It just can be transferred. So when you're stressed, the worst thing that you can do is bottle it down, suppress it. I've done that before. I will suppress it by thinking, you know what, it's okay. I'm good. I've got this. Not even feel it. Try not to feel it. And then one day just burst out in tears and cry, I don't know, just be so overly emotional about things, or be overly angry about stuff because I've held it in for so long, you know. So you don't want to do that. You also don't want to stuff it down with food, you know, and just eat or drink a lot because of your stress, because that doesn't do anything with it. It just keeps it in your body, and then what it ends up doing is ends up ultimately killing you, because that's what happens to stress. Stress causes so many diseases, and when it's this energy that's just built up inside of you, it causes so many weird little things around your body, man. It's crazy. So what you have to do is you have to get rid of that stress. Now, my top 3 things to do to get rid of that stress, to release the stress that's built up in your body, is number 1, to run. I just had to run. I was so mad actually on Saturday because, I'm going to say really mad. I was annoyed because I wanted to get the run and I knew I needed to get it in, and I just couldn't, because it just ended up having this terrible headache. after work and came home and just ate, and I didn't want to like eat after that. So I didn't end up having my run on Saturday, but I did on Sunday. And so you have to release that energy that's built up. So running is a great way, or walking, just any sort of physical activity that actually works you out, that allows you to release that stress. Like, have you ever worked out when you're stressed? How do you feel after? You're just like, oh, okay, I got it out, because you have to get it out. Another way that I like to get it out is through journaling. And it's really, I mean, when the energy flows from your mind down your arm into your hand and onto that piece of paper, you know, you're getting it out. And it's one helpful way to just like process those emotions. Like, what am I feeling? And if you don't know like how to journal, it's just, you know, you can just start with, why do I feel this way? And write that question down and see what comes through. You can also see, you know, if you want to change your mindset, change your attitude about things, you say, I know that this sucks. And write the 10 things that are going on that really suck, and then change it and say, well, but you know what? This is what I'm grateful for, and start writing that down. And that will help to really change your mind. There's a lot of studies that prove how much journaling is so helpful and beneficial for mindset. And the last thing that I like to do when I'm stressed, and I don't even know if I like to do this, I just feel like I need to do this, and I just let myself do it, and it's cry. Like, have you ever had that good cry where you just like let it all out? And then you feel so much better afterwards. Like, sometimes you just gotta cry. That's energy stored in your body that you just have to release, and they can come through tears. Because here's the thing, you want to allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling, let it come up, and then let it go. You gotta let it come up and let it go. And let it come up and let it go. Well, it may look a little different now because I had to switch to my phone. My camera's battery just died, and I just changed it a little bit ago. So I guess I was recording that Halloween basket video. It took too long. So anyway, my phone died, or my battery died for my camera, and so I'm just using my phone. And that was my last thing. You know, there's all kinds of other things to do, but those are my top favorite things to help you to release the stress. And the other thing when it comes to stress, it's like, if you are experiencing chronic stress, like, what can you change? You know, there's that old verse, I'll have to pop it up, the verse, whatever it's called, where, you know, give me the courage to change what I can and accept the things that I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference, something like that, I forget. But it's like, if something's continuously stressing you out, you got to change it. You just have to, because if not, it's going to kill you. And you don't need to die over stress. It could be hard, it could be difficult, but you'll make it through. And so, you know, try to prevent those stresses. Try not to let things like bother you too much. And not even bother, like, you know, some things you just gotta let it roll off your back. Like someone cutting you off, just let that go. You know, just let that roll right off your back. Don't take it personally. They don't care about you. They didn't do it purposely to annoy you. It's annoying to you, but they didn't do it to annoy you. You know, and if it's like someone in your family that's constantly berating you or doing something, you know, you have to set boundaries, and you have to say, you know what, I'm not going to put up with that anymore, and I'm not going to let you treat me. And guess what? You don't need to tell them, because people, they're not going to get it. Like, sometimes you can have good conversation with people and they will understand. And I say, my rule of thumb is, have that conversation once. Have that conversation with that person one time. And if they continue to act that way after having this conversation, cut them off. And I don't mean cut them off like don't ever talk to them, but just like know where you stand with them, and know the things that you do allow yourself to do with them, and just allow them to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have boundaries. It's so important for you to have boundaries. Stress is never going to go away. You just got to learn how to manage it and have some tricks in your tool belt to help you out. But I'm going to talk about this forever. Maybe we should talk about this some more. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, because I would love to talk about this topic. But thanks for hanging out with me and letting me vent about my stress and sharing with you my weight loss this week, or should I say weight gain this week. And I will be back next week for week 9 update and talk about how I'm going to be adjusting things. I wanted to share with you my meal prep, so I'm hoping I'll get that done this weekend, because I have been working on it. I just didn't have it ready by today's video, and I thought I'd be a little bit chatty anyway about the stress thing. So hopefully that will come out, and I just hope you're having an awesome day, and I hope you have a great week. And I'd love to know how you're doing and how your weight loss journey is going. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. But please go do something good for yourself because you are number one. Bye.